Welcome back to another battle between. In a confrontation between the Chaos King, the primordial embodiment of chaos in the Marvel Universe, and the Scarlet King, the brutal Red King of the SCP platform, determining the outcome is one of the most complex analytical tasks. Both characters stand at the very top of the power hierarchy within their respective universes, possessing abilities capable of erasing entire multiverses, bending the laws of logic, and manipulating the very structure of reality. In short, let's get started. The Chaos King, also known as Amatsu Mikaboshi in Japanese mythology, is one of the most terrifying entities. He is not simply a god or a cosmic monster, but the embodiment of chaos, of the void that existed before the Big Bang and before the creation of all things. Before there was light, before there was order, before there was any concept of time or space, there was only chaos. The Chaos King is the consciousness of that chaos. When the universe was formed, he was cast into darkness, becoming the absolute antithesis of all creation, and his sole ultimate purpose is to erase everything, returning the entire multiverse to the primordial state of nothingness that he once ruled. His existence is an unchanging constant. He was not born. He has always existed as an inevitable part of the cosmic balance, albeit a destructive one. When the gods of creation began forming galaxies and worlds, the Chaos King remained dormant in the void beyond that creation. However, as creation expanded too far, his presence began to awaken. He is not merely a destroyer, but the negation of the very concept of existence. Everything he touches is not destroyed in a physical sense, but erased from existence entirely, as though it had never been born. The Chaos King's power far surpasses every concept of cosmic energy. He does not wield divine power or quantum energy. Instead, he is the absence of them. His most prominent ability is the erasure of reality. The Chaos King can look upon a galaxy, a god, or even an abstract concept such as time or death, and simply erase it from existence. He does not need to perform rituals or expend energy, because this act of erasure is his natural state, just as breathing is natural to humans. During the event known as the Chaos War, he demonstrated this ability in a brutal fashion by effortlessly erasing the entire pantheon of the Olympian gods, including Zeus, in only a few moments, absorbing their power and essence to increase the intensity of his own chaos. He does not merely destroy his enemies, he turns them into part of the chaos. Whenever he defeats an entity, that entity's essence and power are dissolved into him, making him stronger and increasingly difficult to defeat. This means that the longer the battle continues, the more unstoppable the Chaos King becomes, because every attempt to attack him simply provides additional fuel for his chaos. He has absorbed the power of divine pantheons across the universe, transforming himself into a composite entity of every fear and every form of destruction that civilizations have ever known. The Chaos King is almost completely invulnerable. Physical attacks, energy attacks, and even conceptual attacks are ineffective against him. How can you kill something that is inherently nothingness? How can you erase something that represents erasure itself? He is immune to every form of time manipulation because time does not exist within his domain. He is immune to mental attacks because he does not possess a mind in the way living beings understand one, but is instead pure chaotic will. Even high-level abstract entities such as eternity, infinity, or oblivion must be wary of his presence because he represents the end of the very concepts they govern. However, the Chaos King's power is not without limits, and those limitations are significant. His greatest weakness lies within the very nature of his own antithesis. The Chaos King can only fully exist and unleash his maximum power when there is creation for him to oppose. He is darkness, and darkness only has meaning when there is light. Without a universe to destroy, he has no purpose. Furthermore, his chaos can be opposed not by greater power, but by connection and will. During the Chaos War, Hercules and the God Squad did not defeat him by using overwhelming strength, because that was impossible. Instead, they used the power of life, love, and memory. By accepting chaos and harmonizing with it rather than fighting against it, Hercules created a paradox that the Chaos King's nature could not process. Chaos cannot consume something that has completely accepted it. This demonstrates that the Chaos King, no matter how powerful he may be, is still bound by the laws of cosmic balance and can be defeated by opposing concepts rooted in creation and unity. The Chaos King's battles always carry the atmosphere of an apocalypse. He does not merely attack planets, he attacks the very structure of reality. When he enters the Marvel Universe, the laws of physics begin to collapse. Colors disappear, sound becomes meaningless, and living beings begin to disintegrate into particles of nothingness. He has faced some of the most powerful heroes, including Thor, Hulk, and Silver Surfer, and all of them were completely overwhelmed. Ava Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds, is merely a small creature in his eyes, because Galactus is still part of creation, while the Chaos King is something that existed before creation itself. His war is not truly a battle, but an inevitable process of erasure, a dark tide that cannot be stopped. Now, let's move on to the Scarlet King, the Red King of Destruction and Narrative Self. The Scarlet King is one of the most evil, ancient, and complex entities within the SCP platform. He is not merely a monster or a god of destruction, but the embodiment of tyranny, brutality, and the collapse of the very narrative structure of reality. In SCP cosmology, reality is not simply a physical universe, but a complex hierarchical structure known as the Tree of Knowledge. The Tree of Knowledge represents every possibility, every story, and every level of reality, from the most basic physical worlds to the highest metaphysical levels, where authors and creators exist. The Scarlet King is the sworn enemy of the Tree of Knowledge. His ultimate goal is to burn the Tree of Knowledge, destroy every level of reality, and replace it with a new order filled with suffering and enslavement known as the Deep Roads. The origin of the Scarlet King is shrouded in mystery and horror. He is said to have existed before creation itself, born from the cracks in reality or from the suffering of all things. He is often depicted as a colossal entity with blazing red skin, massive horns, and eyes radiating cruelty, but this is only one of countless forms he can take. His true nature exists far beyond what language can describe. He is a metaphysical entity who exists simultaneously across multiple levels of reality. The Scarlet King's power is a terrifying combination of conceptual destruction and narrative manipulation. His most frightening ability is his manipulation of narrative levels. Within the SCP universe, entities on higher levels can control and alter entities on lower levels, much like an author controls a character within a story. The Scarlet King possesses the ability to move through and influence these levels. He can rewrite the past, alter the present, and ensure that the future always leads toward the destruction of the Tree of Knowledge. If someone attempts to destroy him on the physical level, he can still exist on the conceptual level or on a higher metaphysical level, rendering every attempt to destroy him meaningless. The Scarlet King's ability to corrupt and control is also incredibly vast. He does not need to fight every enemy directly. Instead, he spreads madness, ambition, and despair into the minds of gods, powerful entities, and entire civilizations. He's created countless cults and followers, known as the Children of the Red King, who are willing to sacrifice everything to accelerate the collapse of reality. He can turn even the greatest heroes into brutal instruments of his will, reversing their very nature and transforming love into jealousy and compassion into cruelty. His presence contaminates everything, turning even the most beautiful ideas into weapons of destruction. The Scarlet King is almost completely impervious to conventional means. Physical weapons, energy attacks, and even lower-level conceptual attacks cannot reach him. He has developed a natural defense mechanism through the complexity of the narrative structure itself. Whenever a threat emerges, the reality surrounding him automatically adjusts to protect him, creating paradoxes or seemingly random events to neutralize that threat. The Scarlet King's battles are not battles in the traditional sense, but conflicts on a cosmic and metaphysical scale. One of his greatest conflicts was his war against the Tree of Knowledge and its protectors. He has caused countless apocalyptic scenarios, classified as K-class scenarios, throughout the stories of the SCP universe. He has destroyed worlds, brought civilizations to collapse, and struck fear into powerful entities. He has confronted entities such as the Snakes, the former rulers of reality, defeating them, taking their power, and turning them into tools for his own purposes. One of the clearest demonstrations of his power and danger is the way the SCP Foundation has had to deal with him. The SCP Foundation, despite possessing all of its resources and advanced technology, cannot destroy the Scarlet King. Instead, they have had to rely on metaphysical and narrative weapons. One such weapon is SCP, 2747, a story specifically designed to function as a kind of narrative virus intended to erase the Scarlet King from the structure of reality. SCP-2747 does not attack him through raw power. Instead, it attacks by making his existence contradictory and impossible to sustain. The Scarlet King has also confronted entities capable of manipulating narratives on an extremely high level, such as SCP-3812, an entity capable of continuously transcending every narrative level. Although SCP-3812 is theoretically considered superior to the Scarlet King, the existence of the Scarlet King remains a persistent threat, a shadow always lurking on the lower levels, ready to exploit any weakness to bring about destruction. This demonstrates that the Scarlet King is not only powerful in terms of raw strength, but also possesses terrifying resilience and adaptability. However, the Scarlet King also has weaknesses. His arrogance and desire for absolute control can sometimes make him predictable. Furthermore, his existence depends on having a structure to destroy. If the Tree of Knowledge were to disappear completely, his purpose would also cease to exist, although this itself is a paradox because he is the one who seeks to destroy it. In addition, narrative weapons such as SCP-2747 have demonstrated that he can be harmed. First of all, we have to acknowledge that a confrontation between the Chaos King and the Scarlet King would be a clash of titanic forces. The Chaos King may have the initial advantage. His ability to erase reality is absolute within the Marvel Universe. He can look at an entity and make it so that it never existed. If the Scarlet King appears in a specific physical or conceptual form, the Chaos King could attempt to erase that form. His primordial chaos could overwhelm the structures of order that the Scarlet King attempts to build. In a short-term confrontation, the sheer purity of the nothingness that the Chaos King brings with him could inflict tremendous damage on the manifestations of the Scarlet King. However, this battle cannot be confined to a single level of reality. The very nature of the Scarlet King is based on multi-layered existence and narrative manipulation. This is the decisive factor. The Chaos King, no matter how powerful he may be, is still bound by the laws of the Marvel Universe, where chaos and order must remain in balance. When the Chaos King attempts to erase the Scarlet King, he will discover that his target is not a single entity, but a concept that extends across countless narrative levels. It is like trying to erase an idea by burning a book. Erasing one manifestation of the Scarlet King on a lower level will not affect his existence on higher levels. The Scarlet King can simply rewrite the script, turning the Chaos King's attempt at erasure into part of a larger plan of destruction. He could transform the Chaos King's chaos into a tool, a flame with which to burn the Tree of Knowledge. Furthermore, the Scarlet King's ability to manipulate narratives allows him to attack the very source of the Chaos King's power. The Chaos King relies on the existence of creation to have something to destroy. The Scarlet King could manipulate the narrative structure to create paradoxes, rendering the concepts of creation and destruction meaningless, or causing the Chaos King to contradict his own nature. The Scarlet King has dealt with entities that attempted to erase him from the story before, and he has always found a way to return through the gaps within the narrative. From a tactical standpoint, the Scarlet King is a master of manipulation and patience. He does not need to confront the Chaos King directly. He can sow doubt, corrupt the entities surrounding the Chaos King, or create situations in which the Chaos King's power becomes useless or even counterproductive. The Scarlet King fights by changing the rules of the game, while the Chaos King is only good at breaking the board. When the rules of the game are changed on a narrative level, the one who breaks the board is no longer a threat. The Chaos King wants to return everything to nothingness, a state in which there is nothing, neither order nor chaos. The Scarlet King wants to replace reality with his own new order filled with suffering and enslavement. These two goals are in direct conflict. However, the Scarlet King possesses a greater ability to adapt and transform. He can accept temporary chaos as a tool to achieve his ultimate goal of tyranny. The Chaos King, whose nature is absolute negation, cannot accept or control anything, including the chaos he creates. This gives the Scarlet King a tremendous strategic advantage. In an all-out confrontation between the Chaos King and the Scarlet King, victory would belong to the Scarlet King. Not because he is more powerful in terms of raw energy, but because he operates on a higher level of reality and possesses superior narrative authority. The Chaos King is an immensely powerful entity within the scope of a universe, but the Scarlet King is a threat to the very concept of story and reality itself. The Scarlet King would not be erased by nothingness. Instead, he would use that very nothingness, manipulate it, and turn it into a part of his plan to burn the Tree of Knowledge. The Chaos King may be the end of everything within the Marvel Universe, but the Scarlet King is the end of the very meaning of that ending. Therefore, the Red King would stand victorious upon the ruins of chaos, asserting his absolute dominion over every level of reality. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much.